So the thing is, when people say you can't separate, right? And or maybe that he doesn't win. Maybe he's not the best separator, but he still wins. And that's what I want on my team against man. In the zone, he's still pretty decent at 282. That's still it's eighth in the class, but 2.8 is still it's very close to that 3 that you're looking at. So that's why I'm super high on Trey Harris. A dot, good A dot, deep yards. He was 20 yards down the field. He said in 2024, even though he didn't play, let's listen to this. He led with 12 receptions with 30 plus yards, and he still tied the lead with 7 catches of over 40 yards, and that's in only 8 games. Really, was 7. And the new thing I've been looking at is the passer rating, and his was basically about 150 when targeted. So Jackson Dart knew who he needed to go to in clutch situations. And now I like guys who are primarily outside receivers because you can play those guys if you need to eventually in the slot. But if they can win outside, I know they can win in the slot. And somebody like him is 6'2". But will he be playing in the slot? No. They have Lad McConkey on the team. So he'll either be playing that Z receiver role, and maybe you keep QJ outside, or Mike Williams goes outside if Mike Williams is back to what he used to be. Or you put him on the X receiver and let him do what he did in college. Have a case for him. Not going to go over everything we have here. Let me scoop that up. I keep forgetting my face is in the way. But as we see the strengths, basically his size, his production, his contested catch rate, all that stuff. The weaknesses or the cases against him, let's say that. He's older. He's had the injury history. I know it says contested catch consistency questions because it seemed like earlier in his career wasn't that high, but he made improvement this year. That's what I care about. The route tree, that's what I mentioned earlier with the pre-draft testing. And now, the one thing we did find is the performance against top-tier competition. There was a dip in that, but that would make sense. The later breakout age, of course, but he didn't get to the SEC until he was basically 21. So that's the that's the thing. In Conference USA, and the thing is, 1 year it was COVID, so it's kind of tough for him. So what I have has the player comparisons, but let's look at the fit first. We have positive Justin Herbert, arm talent. We know that Justin Herbert just needs receivers. Lad McConkey, Quentin Johnson, Mike Williams. So he'll either be the X receiver or the Z threat. One or the other. He is going to play. They put draft capital behind him. He's going to play. Now, the scheme we know is run heavy. Now, I think personally it was super run heavy last year because they didn't know if they could trust anybody. Then they found Lad, and Lad got a lot of touches. So if they figure out they could trust Trey Harris, I think it'll be a similar situation where maybe like the Eagles, where they do run the ball a lot, but if they need to throw the ball, they will throw the ball. Herbert, in my opinion, is a better just passer than Jalen Hurts is. Now, Hurts can do more things on the field, which makes him more dynamic and better. But I think Herbert can definitely, if you allow him to throw the ball, because he's been quarterback 3 before in fantasy. So if you allow him to throw the ball, he can get out there and make the right reads. The comparisons we have here, okay. We have the floor being Alec Pierce, the boom bust guy, because you see with Anthony Richardson, that was his favorite receiver in my opinion. But you have Alec Pierce who could have 20-point weeks, and then he could have literally 0 or 3-point weeks. Ceiling, Devontae Parker, which is good because same thing with Devontae Parker with the injuries. That's what you was concerned about. I looked it up, I think a week ago. Devontae Parker, I forgot, had a wide receiver 11, number 11 overall. So he was at wide receiver 1 season. Honestly forgot about that. But for the most part, he was injured. He was around wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 range, to be honest with you. Do I want that for Trey Harris? Not necessarily. But if I can get that 1 wide receiver season, I think I would be happy with that, especially for a second-round guy. I can accept it. Would I be totally happy? No, but I can accept it. If he gives me one wide receiver one season, yeah.